So that's the dry one, getting the compact
punch sample.
Punch, and then the other one is then the ring. And we do that together with bass and guitars.
Welcome, boys and girls. Today I want to show you how to use snare samples to make your snare tone more organic, more vibey, to give your snare more character instead of just making it sound boring and sterile. Sounds good, right? And we're going to do this with the original multitracks, buckle up, of Bloodbath's Mock the Cross, a modern death metal classic. And we're gonna do that with no other than Bloodbath's original producer and mixer David Castillo, who's gonna show you how he spiced up Bloodbath's snare tone by using 2 samples simultaneously, and how he created the drum sound of this legendary death metal album. The song Mock the Cross is from my very favorite Bloodbath album, with Mikael Åkerfeldt from Opeth on vocals, and I'm so happy to announce that today we are releasing a full mixing course together with David Castillo inside Kohle Audio Kult. That means that you can not only download the original Bloodbath multitracks, including some very nice and spicy HM2 chainsaw guitar tones, you can mix the song yourself. Upload your version, get a mix review from me, and you can watch a full mix rundown from David himself. But that's not all. He did a rundown of his original mix from 15 years ago, and he actually remixed the song, showed how he would mix it these days. But I get it, enough promotional creepy talk from my side. There's a link below to the course, but now it's time to spice up your snare. David, please take over.
Top snare, the EQ on the channel. Cut out some boxiness, but also adding a lot of that crack. Bottom mic, usually where I pick up a lot of the high-end stuff. Just want the sizzle high-end going on there. Sounds more like level-wise, but touching it a little bit of compression going on, and then together. Yeah, it helps with the high end and the attack a little bit, I think. And then we added 2 samples. Pretty sure this is exact same snare sample, like these 2. One is with a lot of moon gel to make it dry.
Okay.
One we took it away to get a lot of tone.
Okay.
And then blend it in together. So if you want more ring, you blend more of that sample in. Let's see what we have going here.
It's the same EQ move everywhere. Adding
a lot of highs.
Some bite.
Yeah, and taking off lows and boxiness.
So that was only one sample, right?
That was one, the dry sample, with some compressor. It's kind of cool, like, it reminds me a little bit of the DBX 160 VU, maybe? Mm-hmm. Like how it's, that snappiness, it's cool. And then we have the other one.
But that's a really interesting approach, recording the same snare twice. This one even sounds like it's being hit on the outside or something, to really make the ring of the shell come alive. And then you have like 2 faders to blend between ring and punch, more or less, right?
Yeah, you always want more ring. I try to record everything as open and ringy as possible, especially in like death metal or anything with high distortion. If you think it's too much when you record the drums, then as soon as you add in bass, vocals, and the rhythm guitars, it eats up everything. It's the same with room mics. You need really loud room mics, otherwise it's get eaten up by everything else. then it's nice to be able to have that ring to dive more in.
Totally on the same page. That's something I recommend to many drummers when we record drums, when they complain about the snare being too long. 80% is going to be eaten up anyway, so better start with something.
Yeah, and I think also it's so rare to me that when you have the final mix going, the ring is too ringy. It's like most of the times it's the opposite to me.
Right.
And also ring, it's of course not in the room and overhead. The annoying kind of ring, it's easy to EQ out in the dry mic, like the close mics. Usually in rooms and overheads to me, when you get that distance, ring is just nice and makes it lively and a lot of energy and...
Snarey.
Yeah. Yeah, so even in the final mix, it's a lot of samples.
Yeah.
It's still, the real one adds character to it. And then if I play the full, let's do a full drum mix without the snare. So that's the dry one, getting the compact
punch sample.
And then the other one is then the ring. And we do that together with bass and guitars. Today I would even use more, like 5 dB more, even something on the ring.
I will steal that idea. I think that's a great idea when you make your own samples, to just not only record the multi-sample normal version, but also a ringy version, and then have them on 2 faders. I think that's really cool.
EQ-wise, you see, I use them differently as well.
Yeah, right.
So you can take low end from one, you can take the highs from a ring, or
compress the shit out of the longer one, or use a transient designer and add sustain, or just do some crazy shit with it.
It gives you a lot of control. You can compress super hard a ring and send it to a long reverb or whatever, and you're more flexible that way, I would say. If you have a really good snare you think you're gonna use, it's worth spending the time. This has been without the Snare Master EQ.
Okay.
Again, something I added later to make the snare sit a little bit more in the mix than being on top of it or anything.
And that's on all snares, the acoustic and the samples.
I'm sending all the real, both samples, everything into that. And also that's why I wanted different reverbs. I'm not sending the long reverbs to the real snares where I have bleed.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have all the reverbs sending from the bus if I wanted the same amount of every reverb. So that's why they're separate here.
And you have the long reverb only on the samples because it's cleaner and there's no bleed.
I didn't like the wash you get from the bleed into the reverb.
I'm very sorry I gotta interrupt you here. If you want to see more of this, more of David Castillo, more of Bloodbath, click the link below. There's a full 3-hour-long course showing you all the details about both the original mix from back in the days and David's updated mix that he did exclusively for us in 2025. Again, the course includes the multi-tracks. You can get your hands on the original chainsaw guitar tones, on the drums, on Mikael's vocals. It's a lot of fun. There are 2 ways how you can get your hands on the course and on the multi-tracks. Either you just get the course, that's fine, or if you are very smart, then you become a member of Kohle Audio Cult, because that means you not only get the Bloodbath mixing ritual, but you will get all our courses that we have ever released. And that's a massive collection by now. It's courses, it's multi-tracks from all metal genres, it's free IRs, free samples, free plugins even. You get everything on day one. You can start recording drums with Nolly. You can start mastering metal with Ermin Hamidovic. You can create impulse responses with Jens Bogren. There are a lot of basic courses about whatever, miking drums, about miking guitar cabs, about EQing guitars. You can record bass guitars with Dave Ellefson and me. But most importantly, you can become a member of a great community and can get mix reviews from me. How cool is that? I hope to welcome you inside the cult very soon. That's all for today. Please leave a comment and let me know how much you love Bloodbath and how much you will enjoy mixing this song. I see you inside the cult, but also in hell, motherfuckers. Bye-bye.
Welcome to the Bloodbath mixing ritual. Today we're gonna mix a Swedish death metal classic. My name is David Castillo. In this mixing course, I'll walk you through my original mix of Mock the Cross by Bloodbath, and I'll show you every detail of the production. From the classic chainsaw guitar tone to Mikael Åkerfeldt's growls and screams. But that's not all. I will revisit the original track and carefully remix the song using analog gear and my current mixing techniques. The course includes the original multitrack, so you can mix the song yourself. You can even upload your own version, get a professional mix feedback, and win fantastic prizes. If you want to dive into Swedish death metal and get your hands on this brutal and intense classic, click the link below and join the Bloodbath mixing ritual now.